Hello, it's Irene again. So, since I have still some time, I thought about bringing another one, but I do suppose that I'm probably not going to end this one today. I do not know how long the demo is going to go. So, if I do not finish today, we'll continue tomorrow, okay? And the name is Salvus Aries. And let me just check. So this is from Rosemilk Studio. And it's still in early access. Yeah, it's still in early access. And it says, "Congratulations, you are dead. Welcome to the afterlife." A story that begins with the heroine meeting her bad end at the chopping block. It can only go uphill from here, right? Waking up after a long stay in purgatory. Oh, we have like kind of like the same theme as the other one. That she remembers nothing about. She learns that the rest of her sentence is to serve as a reaper until the powers above have decided she's paid back her sins. Through her journey after death as a reaper, she'll seek out the empty gaps in her memory and reconcile her past with her present. Everyone has something to hide, and unfortunately for them, she's the type to seek out answers. But the biggest challenge for the crew will be to save her from herself. Or they might all just get a one-way ticket to hell at best. We do have some content in here, but more like innuendos and not very explicit things going on, okay. They do say we have some voice acting, so we'll see it. Oh, I need to put a name. They do not choose it for me. I thought we would have some kind of name. Okay. Oh, is this going to be like, oh my god. Okay. I will try to endure it for as long as I can endure it. I'm going to tell you something you do not know. I have some issues with navy blues. They totally mess with my mind. It's not all types of blues. It's more blues like this. Yeah, it's more like this. They totally mess with me. I cannot watch 3D movies because of this. And the first movie that I went to the theater and I watched it in 3D was the Avatar one, and I could not watch it. I reached the point I left because I couldn't do it. It messes with my mind because I do not see, I already noticed this, I do not see blues as people see them. Like sometimes it's like blue and I see as a dark brown or something, and I don't know why it messes with my head. Like after a while of like seeing something like this, I start to stress out. Like there's something in my mind that doesn't compute. I do not know. And I start even feeling like nauseous about it. Yeah, so okay, let's see this. So in terms of the options, I do not have like nothing in here that will help me. A bunch of guys. Yeah, I do not have, so I have to deal with it. Whatever, we'll try to do this. I'll try to do this in the best way I can. Okay, so it was the day of my execution. Let's see if the enter key works. It works. The footsteps down the hallway come closer towards my cell. Actually, the font And the size, it's actually pretty good. It's just that it kind of messes with me. The background text color. I had already been given my final meal, so this could mean only one thing. That time has come already. Public executions were rare, though the gruesome affairs had once entertained the masses in the past. No longer were they welcomed. Or so I thought. Perhaps I was a special exception. Since I was a woman that was particularly loathsome, especially despicable. At least that is what I've led everyone to believe, unintentionally or otherwise. I had been the target of much hatred even before I laid claim to the ruthless deeds that had left this town torn apart. To be fair, they saw me as the culprit, and all of this was deserved. I can't say my hands were entirely clean either. Even if I did not turn myself in, though, the result mayhaps would have been the same. At least this way I could... Miss Irina. The guard greeted me grimly. One of the few people that still treated me respectfully. My one friend here. I thought he would pretend to not know me, but he was the one to ask what I wished for my last meal. We had often bantered with each other in town, or what this town was before.
It's the perfect day for a beheading, don't you think?
Yeah, but it's our beheading, isn't it? Miss. I hope the trash they would throw at me wouldn't smell too bad.
Miss Ina, it's time to go.
Oh, it's funny he actually said the name. It's funny. His countenance was supposed to be smooth, but pity and resignation were etched in the way his eyebrows furrowed and mouth sagged. I don't know. He was young, only 17. Oh my god, only 17. Why did they give such a task to someone so young? Disgust, hatred, happiness. For those who did like me, their eyebrows did not crease, as if expecting this very outcome. The few who did not despise me hated the path I walked on. And those who did were full of glee, the ones that were still alive anyway. I've seen those eyes countless times in the past year, as they warned me to keep my head down and keep quiet. Countless warnings I did not heed. Just look straight ahead, miss.
You're a little too young for this, aren't you?
You're not much older.
What do you mean? I got a whole 4 years on you. I'm an adult.
She's like 21? Yeah. While I tried to lighten the mood despite the very morbid end that was awaiting me, the crowd's whispers turned into jeers. Filthy bitch!
You've brought nothing but doom to this town!
I was pelted by what smelled like rotten food. Despite the urge to heave, I maintained my countenance to remain the calmest it could ever be. I wanted to keep my dignity to the end, whatever was left of it. There wasn't much food to throw since we had cut the supply routes.
Ouch!
So they threw rocks instead?
Hey, one scratch gets on us and you'll be in the jail next.
Would you say it like jail? Jail. Okay. I wasn't sure how you would say it. Next, huh? I smiled and I could see him wince.
Sorry?
He whispered to me in a hush.
It's all right. You're not wrong.
I mean, he said the name, so could this be like an AI kind of thing? I don't know. You really defending a traitor like her?
I'm next to her, you idiot!
This was necessary. I told myself, it was what I signed it up for. It was for the sake of the nation. It would eventually pay off, even if I would not be around to witness it. No matter how calm I tried to be, though, I could not control the lurching in my stomach. I knew this would come, but I was terrified to the core. Death was coming, yet I still could not fathom that I would be gone in just a short while. But more than that, I longed for what I would be leaving behind. My family, my favorite bread, fresh from the bakery, crispy and fluffy. I could never taste it again. Yeah, this is kind of like what I was telling you from the other one. Like, even tiny little things, you would always have some kind of regret lingering around. After everything, why is thinking about bread bringing me to tears? Because otherwise, if you do not held to, like, hold to nothing, not held. If you do not hold to nothing in this life, you are just an empty shell, and that doesn't exist. You would not be able to actually live and feel like continue living if you are not holding to something in this life, you know? My last moments on earth, and my mouth is watering. I asked for one last loaf of my final meal, but the flavor was not what it always had been. I tried to remember the taste I once cherished, but better than the bread was the people that I shared it with. So that's why my heart hurts so. The guard brought me to a sharp halt. I thought my execution would be done in the middle of the town. Despite the burnt, indistinct rubble, I knew exactly where this was. A cruel estate that was the source of all troubles. Of course they met their demise. He made sure of it, and it was why I was here. His sins were greater than my own, but if he was the one that forged the path, I was the one who paved it. So there's another person implied in here, and it seems that they are kind of like connected, or she feels kind of responsible for what that person did as someone that it's also implied in what that person did. I laughed as I looked up at the burning sky. Someone thought this was the perfect place for me to die. Would my grave be here as well, or would they even bother burying my body at all? I'm sorry. His voice was barely a whisper. I shook my head. There was nothing he could have done.
Thank you.
For being with me at the end, at least my death wouldn't be a lonely one. Someone covered my head with a sack, a final mercy. I didn't have to look at the blade that would take my life. I mean, usually you are like in a position where you're not actually seeing the blade. I hope Felix can have some bread tonight. Or is it Felix the one that is implied to? I pray that it is warm. Maybe he's like part of her family or something. You know, because when it's like part of your family, you kind of feel like you would die for that person. You would feel responsible, you know. But I do not know. I hope he will carry on our work and see our dream through. Yes, so maybe he is still alive and she's just sacrificing herself for a greater good of a dream that they had together. Whatever, I do not know.
Please don't miss me too much. And forgive me for doing this.
The blade swung. Oh, should I have waited or something? I do not know. I click it. After that, it was as though I was trying to study a painting through a net. What a shame, someone so young and bright. More pity. Why did everyone pity me? I knew what I was getting into. My head hurt. I'll walk forward. I stepped forward. If I still had a body, I could not see it. I could only trust my footfalls would take me to a destination. There's a door. Open the door. The light grew brighter.
Is there no way to reconsider?
You forget that this is more in your power than mine. I've done what I could.
I will not back down.
Arguing, lots of arguing. I think it was about me. I wish someone would tell me what was going on. Keep walking. It's like someone is flipping pages of a book. My own life was but a chapter, like ink on a page long disintegrated. Faces along the way like new characters. A hand reached out to me. Are you sure you wish to do this? There will be a price to pay. I cannot help you. But what did I agree to? This was just a memory, wasn't it? Still, I could barely remember anything. I don't have another option, right? So I have to take the hand and walk forward and open the door. My head hurts. It hurts.
It hurts! It hurts!
Oh my god, it really hurts. It's like me when I have my migraines that, god. And yesterday, you noticed yesterday I couldn't stream. Yeah, I was having really heavy ones. But mines are because I am very prone to allergies. And we took the dog to the vet, and she was like, how would you shedding? I think you say shedding, hairs. You know, she's changing her hair right now, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to kill me. And yeah, it was like that. Next morning, I was like, oh my god, I cannot get out of bed. Yeah. So it's like me, it hurts. And I think like there's a lot of things in your body that like it hurts, but like you feel sore or it hurts or something, but you can still work. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like I have other parts of my body that hurt because I already told you I suffer from a chronic inflammation disease. So yeah, sometimes I have some parts in my body that really get sore, but there's nothing, I don't know how to explain this to people, there is nothing like a freaking migraine to put you in a state where you cannot even freaking do nothing. Like, do you agree with me? Like, it's like something that I cannot even eat because I get nausea because of the freaking migraines. It's like, it's insane. Okay.
Make it stop, please!
I begged to any entity that would listen to me. My heart, no entire being, throbbed in pain for what felt like an eternity. Then as sudden as it started, it was over. I was at peace. The loneliness never left me, but it was distant. The searing pain that tore my heart felt like a separate entity, as if it floated next to me. It was a dull ache that didn't consume me, but didn't leave me either. Yeah, like a freaking migraine, right? Was this what happened after death? Where am I going?
I'm sleepy.
Time was an endless stretch. All the voices that swirled in my head soon faded away. Sometimes the same memories visited me again and again. Each time they grew more distant. And then I finally fell into a dreamless state. I think I slept for a very long time. Wake up, there's some people waiting for you. Come on, follow me.
Who are you?
Come on, Sleeping Beauty, you can ask questions later. My eyes were still entirely blurry, but I regained enough control of my limbs to reach out to her. She took my hand. The warmth of her touch grounded me enough to walk forward and through another door. So are we kind of like sleepwalking now? It seemed so. Okay, chapter 1, and we have some sheep in there. Okay. They are like floating. And this time I could feel everything. Like I feel like the design in here and the sprites and the look of the guys, at least from what I saw from the options, the configuration, they all seem very nice. Yeah, the backgrounds and all that, but this text box is killing me. It's honestly it's killing me. I do not know for how long I'm going to be able. Yeah. This time I could feel everything. My feet were firmly planted on the ground. When I stretched out my hands, I could see them, every finger. I touched my neck to find it was still attached. A young woman guided me through a long hallway. She bade me to sit down. A few moments later, she handed me a drink. I believe this is coffee. I have mostly drunk tea in my life, though. It is sweeter than I remember it, and quite chilly, too. How long has it been since something has passed my lips? Just a few days ago, but it feels like it's been a lifetime. Actually, no, several lifetimes. My head was pounding, so I focused on the drink to steady myself. Where am I, anyway? I heard loud footsteps and a raucous group approaching me. Sounds of bickering and a few exasperated sighs reached my ears. While I have been in crowds aplenty, this one felt overbearing, more so than the last one I'd faced, and they pelted things at me. I haven't heard such noise in a century. Hello there. Hello, who are you, and where am I? What's happening?
Consider us your welcoming committee.
Welcoming committee for what?
Congratulations, you're dead. Welcome to the afterlife.
Well, that was not very welcoming at all.
I'm dead?
She is our protagonist's voice. It's kind of a bit too much dramatic. I do not know. Why was that surprising? My head got chopped off. All my memories after that were particularly fuzzy, but I recall that much. I suppose these things take some time to get used to. I should be grateful that I was on my own 2 feet again. I'm sorry, I need just a bit. It's good. It's good. It's just, and even the them talking, it's like it's banging on my ears. Yeah, cannot. Wait, I knew that. Why are you so surprised then? So why is this red hair guy the only guy that doesn't have a voice? What's going on here? Well, I suppose I didn't know what to expect afterwards. Death is a shocking thing, you know? You've had quite a while to get used to the whole idea. I have? How does one get used to being dead in a few days? Or it could have been longer. This was a pain. I peered around them, hoping to see a door to heaven. Hopefully it was heaven. I know I did some bad things, but they wouldn't put me in hell, right? So, where are we going? The men all looked at each other. Oh, there's another guy that was not voiced either. Either, whatever. Which one of you will do the honors? Not me. I am not good with these things. There's another guy. I'm not qualified to. Are you not the boss, Kame? Kame pretended to not hear this. How about we draw straws? Man, there's not even a single guy that can actually tell. It's just like, okay. If it's such a hassle to tell me where to go, then I'll go find someone else to tell me. Where is the nice woman who gave me the coffee? Lilia? The bespectacled man named Kame snorted. She's the last person you'll want to ask. You'll get a summary that tells you nothing you need to know and get yourself into trouble. Well, even more trouble. Oh no, they are sending me to hell, aren't they? I gulp it.
Oh, I'm in trouble? I have to go down there?
Yeah, maybe you have to. I do not know. The last part came out in a whisper despite my attempts to keep my voice steady. I looked at the floor expecting it to swallow me whole. Luckily for you, you escaped that fate. Oh, thank goodness. But there is a price and a punishment. His grin did not match his ominous tone. Oh, he doesn't seem very nice. He doesn't? I don't know, like they are putting him as a rude guy, but I'm not feeling like he's rude. He's just more like, you do have this a lot, which is like people think that just because a person is more like pragmatic and the direct type of person, they are already rude and arrogant. And sometimes it's not like that. They just do not like to make small talk. I do not like to make small talk either, so you know. Aries, you are frightening her. He is. I believe we should begin with introductions. Look at you, doing a better job than our leader. I am not your leader, Zephan? Presume it's like that. You're the highest rank. I feel more like a father trying to rein in his troublesome brats. Thanks, Pops. Never knew what it's like to have a dad. Anyways.
I am Kame Aster. It is a pleasure to finally meet you.
Finally. He held his hand out for a handshake. This is the proper human formality, correct? Human. Well, I usually curtsy. I quickly took it and mimicked his gesture, although it felt quite awkward as it was a gesture I witnessed mostly among knights. She's from an earlier time period, remember? Ah, yes. What?
Name's Zephan. Up top.
So he's Zephan, yeah, okay. He raised a hand and I waved back at him. Don't mess with her already, you just said... Sorry. He interrupted and gave me a smooth wink. What the heck, is that supposed to be a smooth wink? Sorry, it's just like his face. Was trying to give you a high five, didn't mean to confuse you. He ruffled my hair and stood back to pass the baton to the next man.
I am Valafar.
Valafar, okay. He bowed politely and I returned the gesture with a curtsy.
Aureus.
Aureus? He made no such movements and only nodded at me. Ouch, cold reception. You feeling shy? Hush. Nice to meet you too.
I am Sair, an angel.
Sair, okay. As if to prove it, he floated into the air for a few moments. What a show off. Wow, a real angel. Don't tell me you are believing him so easily. I ignored him. Do you have wings and feathers? He hesitated for a moment before answering. Only on special occasions they can get in the way. Wow, I want to see. Perhaps some other time. Reapers are cooler and we have powers too. His tone felt rather petulant. Petulant, yes. I think it's like that. Eh? Wait a minute. The human comment from before stuck out. Are you all Reapers? Like Shinigami. Is it so shocking? You just believe that man is an angel. Seir smiled at me serenely. Yes, well, I mean, I did not have a good answer, so I decided to ignore those statements altogether.
So, if you're Reapers, are you the ones that brought me to the other side?
Correct, although you have been on the other side for quite a while now. Do you not remember? I don't. Was it Lilia who got me? I just came through this door. She got you from purgatory, but she doesn't do any reaping herself. You can say she's a bit of a complicated case. Oh. A story for another time. Come on, you two, stay on topic. Do you not remember your stay in purgatory? I was in purgatory? I did not recall this. Or wait, did I? All those voices, the people I saw on my way here. I thought I was hallucinating. Have you recalled? I'm afraid it's mostly a blur. I remember some voices, seeing some people pass by. I remember sitting on a bench under a tree, long paths. And I think I talked to people sometimes.
Nothing more specific?
No, I'm sorry. For some reason he seemed agitated. I felt bad about having to disappoint him. What's gotten into you, Seir? You are usually the picture of serenity. How about we move to the lounge? He indicated with a jerk of his head at the curious onlookers. Currently, only overtime workers are at the office, so we have this place to ourselves. What a strange area. I walked up to this giant box holding little round objects. What is this? A vending machine? That's where your coffee came from. You put your phone against the black part and you select with these buttons and it will give you your drink. He demonstrated by getting himself a coffee, just like mine. You see? Why does it look like your eyes are going to fall out of your head? Sorcery, yes, she comes from another time. So she's like, what the heck is this? It boggled my mind. How could a box know what you wanted? How could it return an object? I mean, people that were born like in, I don't know, 1920. Yeah, like people from 1920. Okay, 1930. Yeah, I think my grandma is like 1930. She's really, really, really old. For them, it's already like a case to be seeing like computers and AIs and stuff like that. Imagine for her that she's probably from like another century seeing this. Perhaps you can think of it another time. Yeah, we were talking about your time in Purge. What do you remember? Well, the last thing I really remember was getting my head chopped off. Aries winced. I remember it really hurt at the time, but it felt like that was so long ago. How long have I been dead for? While we must check the records, I'll say 300 years. Oh, I would suppose even more, but yeah, I don't know. That long? The guys flinched at the sudden increase in volume. Sorry, no wonder it feels many lifetimes away. I really feel like I've aged. Despite your loss in memory? I nodded. Yes, I know only bits and pieces, but I feel something weighing down my heart. Maybe over time I can remember why I feel this way.
It is peculiar that you remember your human life, yet not your time in the afterlife. Usually it is in reverse.
Okay, he said this part too. You're just a weird one. Thanks. Maybe the time that she spent as a human, as a living being, was more meaningful. It had a lot more weight than what she passed in her afterlife. Maybe that's why. I do not know. Now, that simply livens things up all the more. I suppose it is up to me to explain why you're here, what you must do, and where you shall go. You have served most of your sentence in purgatory. However, you are to work indefinitely as a reaper until some conditions are satisfied. What are those conditions? I cannot say. Oh, why not? Curiosity killed the cat, and satisfaction brought it back. Aries rolled his eyes and turned away. I laughed to myself. It was banter that I often used to have with my best friend. Of course, Aries did not seem to be as willing a partner. Wait, my best friend, Felix. Oh, he was not family. He was her best friend? If 300 years had passed, then that meant he was gone too now. No matter what he did, he was my closest friend. He was my other half. But there were more pressing matters at hand, so I would have to wallow in my sorrow later. I cannot tell you the conditions, because I do not know. You are to serve your sentence until the powers above have decided otherwise.
I thought you guys are the powers above.
We're the powers below, except Seir, who is technically from the above, but he doesn't have much weight either.
'Tis true. The powers above are much higher than I am.
So if we are below, this is hell? No, you were spared from that, remember? Keep up.
And hell doesn't have coffee.
Valfar nodded sagely. I don't know if I'm saying it right. What exactly is my sentence for? Have I been that bad? The men all exchanged myriad expressions with each other. Yes, you took the fall for an evil man and helped him along the way. I could not deny that. Although he was doing some bad things, I did not find him evil in the slightest. Yes, sometimes sometimes we go by what we believe in. And what I realize is that the way we see the world, each person sees it in different ways. And that's why you have like the 16 personalities, types of personalities and all of it. Like, because some people are more driven by their sensibility, others are more driven by their perception, and their judgment and so on and so forth and like that. And sometimes like your convictions like take you into a path that might make you more of, for the rest of the world, is seen as good or it's bad, you know. Like some people might say that, imagine you have like, I think I already said something of a kind. Imagine that you have like a virus in a little city. You might be the person that says, like, there is no way, we do not have a way to save the people that, like, imagine you have the plague back again and there is no way to save people and whatever. I don't know. The Black Plague, whatever. And you, like, imagine that you say, like, oh, there is no way that we can save people from this village, so we are going to isolate the place and we are going to kill the people. And there are going to be others that are going to be against it, because no matter what, the people that are in there are still people and still have emotions, and they are still breathing and living, and they, despite what they have, you know, they should not be killed. So you always have like these contradictory kind of ways of viewing things, because, and sometimes I think it has to do with some people are thinking about the consequences in a more present way, and others are seeing it more in a more future way of like, but if we take care of the situation right now, in the future you will not have to deal with this. Do you understand? And like some people are more like, but what matters is what we have now, and people are people and they exist and they need to. So you always have different types of seeing the world, the perspective, seeing the world in another way. And this is kind of like the hard thing, you know. Maybe she was, I do not know. Maybe she was with, imagine, Felix was like a Hitler. Imagine this. I do not know, because they are saying that he was an evil man. But during that time, for her and through her perspectives, maybe she thought he was right. Do you understand? Like, sometimes it's like that. And, you know, so you have all types of people. So, and the results were like, even Hitler, when he was doing what he was doing, he had a perspective too. He had like something that he wanted to do and conquer. And do you understand? Like, I'm not saying that he was right. What I'm saying is that each person has its own way of seeing the world. And sometimes that's the conflict in it. And that's what makes us be more judgmental about that person being good or being bad or catastrophic, almost world-ending. A calamity beyond all disasters. Yes, thank you. We get the message. Hold on. I thought things would get better if I... Oh, no. Miss, frankly speaking, everything went to shit. See, like... Imagine that she was working with Felix that was like kind of like a tyranny kind of guy or whatever. But during that phase for her, maybe seeing things through her perspective, that was the right way, you know? And sometimes it's really hard for you to judge a person when it's like that, because a person is seeing the things through the eyes that she's seeing things, you know, even if you do see things in another way. You sacrificed yourself for the crimes of that man. In turn, he ravaged the world. What? That was the last thing I could have ever expected to hear. Angered by your death, he decided to wage war across the country, as well as the neighboring lands. What? What did you expect? He was a wrathful man. You witnessed that before your death as well, correct? It was justified. He wanted to change the country. Well, you changed it, all right.
I meant for the better, not for the worse. What happened?
Yes, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes even you yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes your actions are supposed to be good, and they end up being bad in the eyes of the others. Honestly, we don't have to go really far. Imagine a mother with her daughter or her child, whatever. Imagine a mother protecting the daughter or the son, whatever, by being like very protective in terms of like, oh, but you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Like through her mind and her feelings and her eyes and everything, she's doing it for the good, but maybe for the eyes of the daughter or son, it's not for the good, because imagine they are already adults. If they want to bang their heads, they bang their heads. They know what they are doing. They are, do you understand? So there are many moments in our lives, not only when we do like really evil things, where we see things through our only perspectives, and we think that what we are doing is a good thing. But sometimes it isn't. And we need to carry the weight of that, right? You enabled a terrible man. Even before your misguided martyrdom, you encourage him in his sins. Alright, I understand. This is because I was his partner, right? The powers above decided that enablement of a sinner is also a sin. Especially in this case of your final act. Hundreds and thousands of lives were forfeit. Yours truly had to be involved too. Zafan pointed at himself with a grim expression. We can come back to that later. Volfar cut him off before he could begin his tale. Deflated, Zafan pouted but did not protest. All because of what he did? No, that's not entirely true. Oh? You are right. I did enable him. Instead of telling to rein himself in, I encouraged him. But I thought he knew best, so I never disagreed with him. I just aided him in the pursuit of our goals. I thought if I limited myself to a certain extent, my hands wouldn't be dirtied, but if he was the one to administer the poison, then I was the one that brewed it.
And if I could give my life for him to continue on his path, our path, then it would all be okay.
I had gladly done so in the end. I'm just going to take a break right now, but I'll be back.